This is Film Trigger. Stevie Cade.
I don't need breast implants. I lost 90 pounds. I have my own tits.
Seth Draven.
So by that logic, George Clooney is the best live-action Batman we have ever gotten.
Ramon from Hit or Miss TV.
If Justice League 2 isn't announced in 2022, I will shave my head bald live on air.
Streaming from Studio 47. Film Trigger's Drive-By News begins now.
Hello, everybody! Welcome to Film Trigger, the fastest growing channel on YouTube right now in the world. That's right, you heard it first, right here. we're growing so quick. Oh man, what's up, Seth? How you doing, dude?
Doing good. How you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm doing good. I don't know if Monte's going to be with us or not. He's usually pretty good at letting me know, but he didn't let me know. And pretty sure Ramon won't be with us either. We'll probably see a little less of Ramon because we're going at a later time, and he's like 5 hours ahead of us. So it's like midnight for him right now. So, but don't worry, Ramon's not gone. We'll find a space for him. All right. Well, I'm here with you. Seth is here with us. You're here with us as well. I appreciate anyone who's joining right now. You can leave your comments in the comment section below about anything we want to talk about. You have questions? Ask us. You have something you want to get off your chest? Do it. You want to bitch? Nobody's going to care, but write it anyway. Or if you feel like really going off on us, you can give us a call live at 740-527-3447. Don't be a douche. All right. So how's your week going, buddy?
Going good. How's your week going?
It's fine. You're a man of very few words. You know that?
I got nothing to say that should be out there for the public.
Wow. All right. Well, let's slow it down a little bit, shall we? There we go. Oh, yeah. Welcome to Film Trigger Drive-By News. I'm your host, Stevie Cade. I don't know. Oh, man. All right, we got some new stuff to talk about. Seth, you ready to jump into it?
Yep.
All right. Well, first things first. Okay. So, we had the hashtag #MeToo movement that was pretty strong, pretty vibrant, and rightfully so. And a lot of people were they got bit by that bug. Now, but when somebody usually gets accused of something, you don't hear from them ever again, right?
Usually,
that's usually that's it. You're done, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you were accused of something and you did it, like you came out and admitted it,
Yeah.
Well, guess who's back? James Franco is back. Yep. James Franco, he is going to lead in the action thriller called Mace. And Mace is a gritty story set in modern day police department where nothing is what it seems. We think that this material in the hands of such an experienced director as John Emil will yield extraordinary results. No release date or other casting choices have yet been announced for the film. Mace marks Franco's first leading role since 2019 Zero Veal. I don't know why I said it that way. Zero Veal, as the actor largely stayed out of the public eye after several women accused him of sexual misconduct. Seth, I bring this question to you, sir. What are your thoughts on somebody returning after being quote unquote what they call hashtag #MeToo'd, and he was guilty? Like he admitted of sleeping with people in his acting class, and yeah. So what's your thoughts on that? Do you think there's a time where a person can't be judged by their worst mistake, or you say screw it, man, you made that mistake, stay right there, stay guilty, and stay away from the films? What's your thoughts?
Well, it depends on what said person did. Now, obviously, I'm not referring to like James Franco specifically, but like if somebody said something in like the 90s or something that was a little off, it's like, well, that was the 90s and it is only something you said. So
Right.
depending on how bad it is, you can grow from that.
Well, okay, if we
But
use
this
James
kind-
Franco, yeah.
But this kind of thing, though, nope. You should be cut off from Hollywood. Throw him in a hole, throw away the hole. Throw him in a cell, throw away the key, and then bury the cell. Just get rid of it.
And then explode the earth and then kill God. That's how we're gonna do it.
No, but like I don't think people who do something like this deserve a chance to come back, and I don't know why they are getting a chance to come back. James Franco and Kevin Spacey are both getting chances back in Hollywood for some reason. So
Right. Well, but you also have to remember about what's happened since the allegations were made against James Franco. I don't think I did a little bit of research before we started today, and I couldn't find anything about him actually being accused or going to court for it. I could be wrong on that, but I couldn't find anything. The only thing I could find was him being in an interview where he admitted to, he had a acting school that he led, and he did have a course, talking about sex scenes, and those sex scenes were what he was being accused of being very inappropriate in, when he would do those sex scenes and like play them out in real time with some of these actresses. And I think 4 of the actresses came out against him, saying, hey, he was very inappropriate. Now, I don't know. And I didn't hear the word like rape come up or anything like that,
Right.
Just misconduct. So when it comes to misconduct allegations, do you still think there's a chance for you in Hollywood, or do you think that's it? Misconduct too?
I mean, I just think he admitted it, and that's what I've seen. Like,
Well, yeah, but okay, but admitting that you had sex with a student, and a student who is over the legal limit, they're of age and it's consensual. Is it gross? Yeah. But is it illegal? No. At least not that. I mean, but the allegations of him being inappropriate, yeah, that's definitely taken it a step too far.
Right.
But I mean, trust me, if I don't ever see James Franco in a movie again, I'm okay with that. The guy's nominated for an Oscar, and I have yet to see
In
that
what?
movie. That one where he got his hand stuck in
Is
a
it
rock.
127 hours?
Yeah.
I've never seen that movie before.
And I can't figure it out because I've seen James Franco before, and like every time he's in Spider-Man, it's just nothing but cringe to me. Except for that last one. Ironically, the 3rd Spider-Man movie is like when he was his best, and it was mostly because he would shut up and he just made a cool Green Goblin. But so with that being said, Seth, Kevin Spacey, James Franco, both are getting a second chance, and you don't think they should?
I don't. I feel like bringing up Kevin Spacey was a little uncalled for from me because their scenarios are very different. But like, I don't know. I for some reason in my mind, I group that it's all like in the same circle.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't see why it's happening because.
What's up, Joe Schmo?
Yeah,
Thanks for joining us.
I don't know what else to say on it. I don't think James Franco should be getting a second chance. Like even his best friend of decades cut him off after this stuff happened.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep, and I'm referring to Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen was working on a show with James Franco, and after this stuff happened, he kicked off James Franco and replaced him with Dave Franco, who was James Franco's brother.
Oh, that's good to know. Jimbo, Louis C.K. just won a Grammy this year. Everyone's getting second chances.
Yeah.
But is that such a bad thing? That's what I want to open up a discussion about. Is it a bad thing to give somebody second chances? Can you hold a person to their worst moment and keep them there?
When it's something like this, in my opinion, yes. I think that they should be held at their worst moments, because this is more than just a worst moment. This is just
behavioral.
Yes, this is just being a horrible person. Like,
okay, but we say that, but we have exceptions for this rule. We have people that are super famous right now that have been in terrible positions. And prime example, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson went to prison for raping somebody, found guilty in front of a jury, went to jail, spent his time in jail, got out of jail, immediately bit somebody's ear off. And now he's a household name because he proved that he could be better. He proved that he was doing better. Now, has James Franco done that? Not that I've seen.
I'm just saying Hollywood is going to give people these second chances. I'm just saying I wouldn't give these people second chances.
So you'll hold a person to their mistakes. That's it.
It's for something like this, yes. As I was saying earlier, like if you just said something kind of sketchy in like the 90s, that's different. That is very different. But this is like actually you're I don't know. This is physical I guess on other people.
Is where is the line drawn? You know, like when is it okay, we'll give you a second chance, or when is it not okay that you give somebody a second chance? You know, you say something in the 90s. Well, you know, if somebody said like a racial slur in the 90s, is that what you mean? Like, well, they said something a racial slur, you know, 30 some odd years ago. Maybe we can give them a second chance in Hollywood. Is that what you mean? It's tough, right? It's a tough question. It puts you on the spot because you start questioning morality, you know, like where you stand on a moral ground with all this. Like, where do I stand? Like, the right thing to do? Yeah, you should call somebody out for their BS, you know, but again, I don't think you should hold somebody to their worst moments. I really don't. But again, I'm also not a James Franco fan. I'm not supporting James Franco. I'm just trying to open up the conversation here to see how long should we let people, you know, go before we give them a second chance, or do they have to go through hoops like Mike Tyson, you know, doing his thing, proving that, hey, I'm doing better. I'm taking baby steps. Yeah, I'm a fucking nutcase, but I'm aware of it now and I'm working on it. I think that's a good time somebody can come back, and Mike Tyson has proved that. So,
yeah.
Hey, Professor Cade. Hey, Chase Gilroy. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining us. What do you think, Chase? Do you think James Franco should get a second chance in Hollywood? You know, after all the allegations of sexual misconduct that he did admit to, and yeah, but now he's coming out with a new movie. Where's the line drawn here? Let us know in the comments below. And as I said before, if you feel like giving us a call, you can give us a call right now, 527 or 740-527-3447. If you call, don't be a douche. Thanks.
This is how I'm going to start conversations with people from now on. Like people that I'm meeting, I'm going to be like, what's your opinions on James Franco? Just out of pure curiosity. Just that's what I'm wondering about you. That's how you define a person. What's your opinion on James Franco? Do you like him? Do you dislike him? I don't know.
Chase Gilroy says, absolutely, until the allegations are proven true.
As far as I'm concerned, James Franco has admitted to these.
Yeah, he admitted to them. I just watched a video of him saying, yeah, I slept with some of my students. But again, that's not illegal. Is it rude? Yeah. Is it icky? Yeah. Is it illegal? No. Because, you know, they're consenting adults. Okay, yeah. Isn't it innocent until proven guilty? No, it's not, Chase. You know better than that. It's not innocent until proven guilty. Gosh.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial. Just
right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, in a perfect world, it is supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. But now all you have to do is have accusation, and then you are canceled across the board. Which I guess in Hollywood kind of makes sense. I can see that a little bit. You know, like, hey, listen, we like you, but until we know just how bad this is, maybe you shouldn't hang around our studios for much longer. Appreciate you chiming in, Chase. Thank you. Seth, do you have any more thoughts that you... yeah, it's objection hearsay. You can't object to yourself. God, man, what a shit show that trial is. Maybe this Friday we'll have Ramon back on to give us a Amber Heard and Johnny Depp update, because he's so obsessed with it.
I mean, there hasn't been anything though, because they're off this week, aren't they?
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot they were off this week. You know what? Okay, I kept looking up clips today. I'm like, man, I've seen all these clips. That makes sense. I forgot they were up.
Yep.
All right, cool. Well, James Franco, he's coming out with a new movie. Good luck. Good luck with that one. All right. So, speaking of movies, we all have been spoiled with Netflix, right? You know, with Netflix that started the whole streaming craze, and now everything has a streaming site. I mean, hell, Film Trigger is about to launch their own streaming channel. It's gonna be all Film Trigger all the time. Not
Sounds
really.
awesome.
Yeah. Well, as we are, you know, the fastest growing YouTube channel in the world right now, so we got to bring you content all the time. Well, Netflix, they got a little miffed this year when they were expecting a $2.5 million increase in their viewership, and actually ended up losing over 200,000 subscribers. And it really just made their. Here, let me just pull this up. This explains a little bit better than me. This is from The Wrap. And Netflix ad tier coming sooner than expected. Netflix may be rolling out this ad-based option so quickly due to the platform's significant loss of subscribers this year. Netflix reported a loss of over 200,000 subscribers in the first quarter of 2022, rather than the expected 2.5 million gain. Somebody didn't do the numbers right. As a result, Netflix stock has plummeted, and the company has lost an estimated $70 billion in the market. God, man, that's a lot of money in market capitalization. Due to this, it appears Netflix will begin to offer its cheaper ad-supported option and crack down on password sharing sooner rather than later. Seth, I know this doesn't really affect you too much because you don't pay for Netflix, but what is your thoughts on Netflix doing and adding an advertised tier to their content? Meaning, like, you know, let's say you don't want to pay $20 for Netflix. You're like, hey, I really can't afford that. I can only afford $10 a month. And they're like, okay, well, here's $10 a month, but it has ads. Do you think this is a good way of Netflix trying to meet in the middle, you know, with people abusing their password sharing and all that? Or do you think Netflix is just in trouble and reaching for anything?
I think Netflix is doomed. I think Netflix is the next Blockbuster. They're just
the irony.
They're just the irony, exactly. They're just crashing. Now, maybe sometime they will turn around, and that very well could happen. It's not too late for that, but it's not looking good. When it comes...
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, when it comes to the ad tier thing, though, I don't think it will hurt anybody to put an ad tier.
No,
like, I see people complaining about it, like, oh, Netflix, your thing has been no ads. Like, yeah, well, if you pay the price you've been paying for the last decade, then you're still not going to have ads. I know they've upped their prices, but whatever.
Yeah.
You're still not going to have ads, though. They've never had a tier this cheap before, so it's not like they're getting rid of one of their tiers and replacing it with one that has ads.
That's a good point. And also, I believe one of their theorized experiments that they're going to try out is even like families that, a household can only have, you know, one Netflix account, and then you can have it on 4 TVs. Well, let's say, Seth, you know, you live with me. I pay for Netflix, and you're going to college. You're going to go to school in a different state and become you. And you want to use my Netflix. Well, now Netflix is offering, instead of starting a whole new account and him having to pay $20 some odd a month, we'll add $3, and you can add in an account to your existing account. I think that's a really good idea. I think that's very helpful and almost unnecessarily so. Like, Netflix doesn't have to do that.
Netflix is kind of being nice by making it so cheap.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like any other company would have made it full price. You know, another $20 to add on an account.
Well, and not just that, but Netflix also, like you said, you know, you think Netflix is doomed, but, you know, they're still the leading streaming service. They still have more people than Disney. That means their losses are bigger too. You know, you hear $70 billion loss and you're like, holy shit, you know, like, what does that mean? That sounds like a lot of money. But when you're a multi-billion-dollar company, you know, hundreds of billions of dollars, well, then that's not too bad, I guess. Well, compared to Disney and, you know, and all those other ones out there. Jimbo says, remember years back when Netflix tried to rebrand as Quickster and start doing video games as well? I worked there at the time and I lost my job because of it. No, I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all. Does that sound familiar to you, Seth? Nope.
I'm going to Google that real quick.
No. And Jimbo continues, every time they tried something like this, it backfires. Well, but when you say try to do something like this, like, what exactly are you talking about, Jimbo? Like, I mean, they're losing money, they're losing subscribers, and number one, I would say that's mostly due to the fact that they almost never promote their stuff. Like, you don't see any commercials on basic television for Netflix and what movies they have coming out. I mean, they're paying major actors to be in these high budgeted movies, but they're not promoting them like movies at all. I think that's a huge problem. And maybe that's like their way of like justifying it. They're like, well, you know, we make these movies, but we don't have the marketing budget. You know, that's where we save money, is we don't spend millions of dollars on marketing. Well, maybe you should try that first. But I don't see a problem with bringing on an ad-based tier, and I don't see a problem with, you know, hey, you want to add an account, extra $3. The only issue that I have with what they're doing is, it's not even an issue. It's just I don't like them being flippy floppy. You know, when you used to use when they used to advertise, you know, hey, sharing is caring. You know, share your password. You know, or they'll always say, no ads here, nothing here, ad free. Okay, well, now you're flipping on yourself. Maybe come out and just straight up tell people what's going on rather than sneak that stuff in. But Jimbo, I might be jaded because I lost my job, so the Netflix hate is real. yeah, I bet.
I know.
Sorry, Seth, go ahead.
I interrupted you.
But I was just rambling. Go ahead.
I know Netflix has started doing video games again recently. Like they're doing like their own original games, and I'm pretty sure the only ones on there now are mobile. But they're gonna start doing more where you can like play games on your console and stuff like that. Yeah, which is odd, but
that's interesting.
I don't see that really working out. I don't know why. I feel like that's not gonna last very long, or maybe it won't be as popular as they think it would be.
Maybe. I mean, listen, I'm not a huge gamer, so I'm not exactly sure how that would work. But to me, the first thing that pops in my head is just like a one-stop shop. You know, like would you have to have a certain console? Like if you're playing through a PS3, you know what? I don't know how that would work. I mean, they're not going to offer, you know, oh, you can play any game, Nintendo or Xbox or PlayStation, all in this one area. Yeah, I don't know exactly how that would work.
I think they would mostly do original games. Like they'd probably be like short, kind of rushed, shorter games and stuff like that. But maybe they'd have a couple. Like I know it's pretty popular is like the 2K games, which is like the sports games. I don't play those, but those are pretty popular. I feel like they would make a deal with Netflix.
Yeah, but well, if Netflix goes down in flames, like Blockbuster, you know, that one freestanding Blockbuster store that still exists will have the last laugh. I know they will.
What happens when Blockbuster makes a return after Netflix goes down?
Dude, they tried. I remember when Netflix first came out, they actually pitched their streaming service to Blockbuster, and Blockbuster's like, no thanks, that's witchcraft. Well, oops.
I think what's funny is if Blockbuster did come back, they'd probably come back in the form of a streaming service.
Well, they'd have to, Seth. I mean, physical media is dying. I mean, prime example of this, Redbox.
Yep.
Redbox is going to all streaming now. Yeah. Why do you thing? Like, I mean,
I prefer physical media.
Well, but okay, but then you can be a collector of physical media. Right. There's nothing right. There's nothing wrong with that. But like, how profitable is it to have these physical media stations when nobody's really buying physical media anymore? It's all being streamed.
I get it. I'm not like saying it's a bad decision on their part. I get it. I'm just sad.
Yeah,
that's all. I'm just bummed out by it.
Cody Ray says, I do prefer physical media. And he also says, Tubi is so much better than Netflix. I bet, right. They're all the same to me. Disney Plus and HBO Max are my two favorite streaming services right now. So they're the ones I watch the most. I only watch Netflix to fall asleep. I really do. It sucks. And yes, I'm very aware, Cody Ray. I know you do prefer the physical media. Cody Ray, he's friends with me on Facebook, and I see a lot of his posts. He's always posting like old VHS laser discs. I love that stuff, man. That's Seth. Cody Ray, that's your future right there.
I think I got like 80 Blu-rays or something on my shelf. I got a few. It's a growing collection. It's not a big one, but it's getting there.
Well, go through some of my physical media. See if you want anything from there. Jimbo says, when they axed the video game stuff, that's how I got my first copy of what's that? Skyrim? Skyrim. I don't know what that is. Apparently free Xbox games were out of a severance package. Nice score for you.
I've personally never played Skyrim, but I know a lot of people who have, and I guess that's like one of the greatest games ever made. So
well, there you go. So I'm not a gamer. That's more towards Seth's world, and maybe not as no. Well, I don't know. How much do you game now, Seth? All right, fair. Okay, got it. All right, well, there you go, guys. Netflix is bringing ad-supported content sooner than previously thought. Obviously, they're scrambling because they lost all that money, and now they're being sued by their investors. They're having trouble, but I think they'll bounce back. I think they need a little shakeup over there. I think this is just a shakeup to make them say, maybe we can't keep doing the same thing that we're doing again. And I guarantee our days of binging are going to be over when Netflix shakes things up. I bet they're going to do weekly releases of series coming out in the future.
I always complain about Netflix, and I'm always like, well, HBO Max and Disney Plus are the best ones. It's actually Disney Plus, but Disney Plus is the best one. Netflix sucks, but Netflix is releasing my most anticipated movie of the year this year.
Knives Out too.
Knives Out. Yep.
Knives Out, even knivier. All right, well, there we go. Well, I don't want to keep going on and on, but I'll just end it with this. Netflix there's hidden gems on Netflix that you can that are really good and really fun things to watch. They have a whole bunch of good stand-up comedy. They have a lot of great content. Netflix, promote your movies. Might help. That's all I got to say. Just promote. Make a little ad. Say, hey, the movie going experience without the theater, like something like this.
Yeah.
But that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below. Are you for it? Do you understand it? Or are you abandoning ship and saying, screw Netflix, we're out of here? All right. So, I remember back in the day, when you hear of a movie getting reshoots, you're like, oh God, oh no, not reshoots. Oh no, something went wrong. They went a different direction with it. What's happening here? But now reshoots are actually part of planning. They're part of any movie that gets made. Plans for reshoots at the end, just because, you want your movie to look good. So I don't find reshoots to be an issue at all. And I'm not saying this is one here, but I'll tell you what, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is doing reshoots for Black Adam right now, and I've got to say, every photo that I've ever seen of The Rock as Black Adam, dude, I can honestly say, like, even without seeing his acting, this is the best I've ever seen The Rock act. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. The Rock always acts like The Rock, but I don't know, every time he has his suit on, man, he embodies this character. I'm so excited to see this movie, and I'm not even a huge Shazam fan. But let me bring this up here. The Rock shares behind the scenes reshoot photo of Black Adam, and he commented, I believe he did this on Twitter. It says, intense week of production continues as we put the finishing touches on Black Adam. Throughout my career, I've had the privilege of playing some great fun characters over the years, but none speak to my DNA more than this anti-hero known as the Man in Black, Teth Adam. Rage against the dying of the light. the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
He keeps saying that. He keeps saying the hierarchy of the power in the DC universe is about to change. He's been saying that in like every single thing related to this movie and for the past like 2.5 years.
Well, there's probably a reason for it. There's probably some Black Adam lore or comic series that those words are used or something like that. Maybe that's it. But do you see what I mean, Seth? Like this costume just looks good.
Yeah, I was disappointed when this movie did get delayed because it was supposed to be out in July, so that's just in 2 months, but it got pushed to October. It's good it's still this year, but I am looking forward to this movie. I want a trailer though, because we haven't really gotten a trailer. We got like a little first look at DC Fandom last year,
right?
But we haven't actually really seen anything from it. I know a couple weeks ago at CinemaCon they got a full length trailer though.
Oh really? Oh,
yeah.
that means we'll be getting a full length trailer soon then.
Yeah, I'd probably within the next couple weeks.
Are you excited for Black Adam? Are you excited for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to portray this character, or does that make you a little nervous that maybe he's just gonna the rocket a little too much?
I am nervous about it, but I also have faith because he seems really passionate about it, and he's been casting this role for a decade, so he's had plenty of time to practice.
Really hone in those Black Adam skills.
Yep, and I've just seen a lot of people who are like involved with the movie say like if you're a fan of Man of Steel and like the way that movie is like filmed and stuff, you're probably gonna like Black Adam because the action is very similar. So I don't know. I like.
Well, that's good. That's good. And hopefully we can get a Man of Steel too. Uh-oh. Somebody's calling us. Oh no. Oh no. I can't put that on air.
Why?
It's for a gig.
Oh.
I'm glad I recognized the number. Because the phone number that I put down for here is also for booking my musical gigs.
That would have been funny if you answered it. Like
the guy who's calling, he's an older gentleman. He would have been completely loud. Steven, what? Huh? I'm glad I didn't click on that. All right. So Black Adam reshoots. I am excited for The Rock to be in this because he's making me excited, but that's what The Rock does. That's his main thing. He gets people pumped up. He's the hype guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that can be a double-edged sword. Now, as I said, every photo that I've seen is very consistent. Like he has that look down. But does that mean his performance is going to be good? That's not what that means. But that's what we hope. You know, but I've never seen The Rock go outside of his normal acting chops. You know, he's never gotten. I mean, even Dave Bautista has gotten that sort of redemption for me, where he can go outside of what he's normally known to be. You know, when it came to our Army of the Dead, he was great in that movie. John Cena, just as much when he did Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad and the TV series. He showed a bigger range of emotion that made me go, this guy's an actor. The Rock, I don't doubt that. I don't dismay him being an actor, but he acts the same in everything he's in. And that's my one concern.
Yeah, I think what I've seen a couple people say is like, you don't, when it comes to like casting characters, what you do is you write the character, you figure out the character, and then you cast the person who's best fit for that role that you have written. In this situation, it's the opposite though. They literally went to The Rock and said, who do you want to play? And he let his fans decide who he was going to play. What? And they chose. Yeah, this is the thing. He said, who should I play? He said, should I play Shazam or should I play Black Adam? And his fans voted Black Adam. So he chose Black Adam. This is an actual thing that happened.
They were going to let him play Shazam?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I'd never heard this before.
And then he got cast as Black Adam, so they're like, okay, let's start development.
WB just rushed right on that.
This movie is being written around The Rock, not Black Adam. But there's still a chance that is good. Obviously, it doesn't automatically mean it's going to be bad, but
Well,
I think it's
no.
concerning.
For then, okay, I'll give you that. For then, it was concerning, but it's been 10 years since then. There's a lot of expectations that are now coming from comic book movies. Like, it's no longer just a quick, flashy, bright, fun, superhero stuff. Now it's like serious acting chops, need to come to the table. So
Yeah.
that was a pretty. I never heard that story before. That is weird that they would do it that way. But maybe, but he's had 10 years to sit on it, so I think he's probably ready. I don't know.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Maybe it'll get me into Shazam because I'm just not a huge fan of Shazam.
I mean, the thing is, though, these are very different movies. Like,
Right.
They're gonna connect at some point. Obviously, at some point, Black Adam is gonna show up in a Shazam movie, or the other way around. But like, if you just look at Shazam, the first movie, and you look at this Black Adam movie, they are nothing alike.
So is Shazam not in this movie?
No.
Oh, I was under the thought that they were going to be in this movie together.
Nope.
Oh.
And as far as we're concerned, Black Adam is also not in Shazam 2. Unless he makes like a surprise, like, post-credit scene appearance or something. But it doesn't. It sounds like they're holding out to cross over, which is weird because, as you know, Shazam is a kid, and these kids are growing up.
Right.
So they got to get rolling on Shazam 3 if they want to do this.
Right. I mean, how long can they really keep doing this? I mean, before they have 30-year-olds playing 30-year-olds, and it's turned into a different adult when they say Shazam. I mean, look different.
What it's like, I'm kind of worried about Shazam 2, and I don't mean I'm going to go down a rabbit hole for just like a second. I'm kind of worried about Shazam 2 because they just sent that movie just to death immediately when they put it on the same release date as Avatar 2. And then as soon as the release date for, I'm not the release date, as soon as the trailer for Avatar 2 dropped, they switched release dates for Shazam. They moved it up a week, or maybe delayed it a week. It was one of the two. They either delayed it a week or moved it up a week, so they can give Avatar some space, but it's still like in that area.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's concerning. Like, could you imagine if like they build up to this Shazam and Black Adam fight? Like, do a Shazam movie, a Black Adam movie, and then a second Shazam movie, and then they just don't do a continuation because like the second one flops or something, and they just end it. So we have 3 movies of build up, and they just call it off.
Sounds like Warner Brothers.
It does. We got new leaders though. Yeah, so you never know.
Yeah, we got new leader. We'll see how that pans out. There you go. Black Adam reshoots behind the scenes photo that we showed. I think he looks great. I'll bring it up one more time so you guys can take a look at it before we move on here. But yeah, I think he looks too many things. Yeah, I think he looks great in the role. And he does. I just hope his
like the
chops
suit.
meet it. Yeah, the suit looks really good. It really does. All right, so we're gonna move forward. Let us know what you think of The Rock being finally going to do this Black Adam movie, or they're already doing it. They're doing reshoots now. Are you excited to see The Rock as Black Adam? Are you over it? Do you think The Rock's going to do a good job and actually show us like some like stretching those acting muscles, or is it going to be more the same? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you very much. All right, man. You know what I'm really not tired of talking about?
What are you so excited to talk about that you just cannot get enough of it?
Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller. Okay, so before I read that, there was some news site. I forget the name of them. It was like Film something or Cinema something, or I don't know.
Screen Geek.
Yeah, Screen something. Yeah. Screen Geek. Yeah, I think that's right. Screen Geek came out and said that Ezra Miller was going to be replaced. That Warner Brothers is looking at a list of actors, and they even named one actor. Do you remember who that actor is?
Dylan O'Brien.
There you go. That's why I like you, Seth. Dylan O'Brien to replace Ezra Miller, and then there was a lot of other trades that came out and said, hold on. Hold on. We haven't heard this. We don't know where this person's getting their information. Maybe don't believe it so much. I do want to start this off with saying, or asking a question to the audience and to you, Seth. Do you think Ezra Miller needs to be replaced as a Flash?
I think Ezra Miller needs a break from the Flash so they can, get it together. That's what I think.
Okay. So you don't think they should replace Ezra Miller in the Flash? It's already made, already shot, already in a can, all ready to go.
Not in this movie.
Right.
This
That's what I
movie.
mean.
Yeah, no, not in this movie. It's too late to replace Ezra Miller for this movie. But
Yeah,
if you're talking about the
he plays
future,
multiple roles, so yeah.
right? But if you're talking about the future, see, this goes back to that morality thing you were talking about earlier. Because Ezra Miller's done a lot of messed up stuff. Broke into a couple's apartment, threatened to kill them, stole their passports, threw chairs at people, threatened to kill a lot of people, and
took down a woman singing karaoke, got into a fight with the guy playing darts.
Yep.
Yeah. Ezra Miller is definitely on the path of destruction. Does that mean they should be kicked out of their movie role? Not necessarily. But before we go much deeper into that, I just want to put this out here. This, amongst other trades, I just specifically chose this one that I read. It says HBO has no plans to replace Ezra Miller at the moment. This comes to us from Adam Very. He's a senior entertainment writer at Variety. He says, I am told that Warner Brothers is not considering replacing Ezra Miller on The Flash. Miller was arrested twice in Hawaii this year, once for disorderly conduct and harassment, and again for second-degree assault. Now, one thing to take away from this is that Adam Very is saying the Flash, or Ezra Miller, is not being replaced in the Flash, the movie. Now, whether or not Ezra Miller is being replaced, continuing playing the Flash in the future, that we don't know. But it just does not make any financial sense to replace Ezra Miller as the Flash in the already shot movie. The movie's done.
Yeah.
It's in the can, Hold on. Hold on. Give me a second here. All right. I just got a tip. Somebody just sent me a message. Seth, you got the same message.
Did I?
Yep. I haven't looked at it yet. Can you bring up in that group text and see what that's about and see if we should put it up or not? Sorry guys. We're in a group text with people and I haven't. Here he is. Ramon's bombing us. Check your inbox. Sending you link. Ezra footage. Okay. All right. Police cam footage just dropped. All right. We're doing it now.
Oh, wow. This was just now. This was less than 10 minutes ago.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. Ramon, thank you so much, buddy. You have the link. You can join us if you want. But first, I've been waiting to use that and actually mean it for a long time. Give me 1 second here. We do have some it literally just dropped about Ezra Miller. It's Ezra Miller police cam. Let me get this up here. All right, where is this it? Is it? Okay, so this is Ezra Miller. Okay, I'm just gonna bring this up. There we go. All right, this is from TMZ. This just landed not too long ago. Ezra Miller, aggressive with cops in Hawaii, arrest video, film assaults for NFTs. I film assaults for NFTs. Okay. Let's see. Is this video? Can we watch this? It does nothing. Okay, well, that's good. All right, so here's some body cam footage of Ezra Miller's arrest. I can't, there we go. Oh,
loading
cool.
ad.
Loading ad. Well, all right, well, we won't let you guys watch the ads. It's fucking dumbass. So I don't know exactly what we're going to watch here, but our good friend of Ramon at Hit or Miss TV just gave us this information. And apparently it's body cam footage of Ezra Miller being arrested. Oh my gosh.
How
Sorry.
long is this ad?
It's forever. It's like 5 ads. All right, here we go. Okay, there's no audio. Not exactly sure what we're looking at here.
Okay, so that's Ezra Miller, I assume.
That's Ezra, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Cool, Ezra Miller, just standing around talking to his friends. Just in! Let's see, what's the description on this thing? Ezra claims Escalate says he's alleged attacker declared himself a Nazi, and then he brings up Judaism. Okay. Well, I can't hear anything with this one, so I just see people talking. Let's see what else they got here. This one's probably gonna. Nope. What? Is this body cam footage like? Is it recording Sasquatch or something? Like, why is it so blurry?
I have no idea. I checked that one video we were just watching.
Yeah,
he's just standing around. A little bit later in the video, he tries to walk inside that building, and they just shove him out.
Oh, okay.
That's it. Like he tries to walk in, they push him, but to keep him from coming in. But that's it.
All right. Hey, thanks, Ramon from Hit or Miss TV for letting us in on this. Yeah, I know you're in bed. I know. We go so late. He's 5 hours ahead of us. But please go check out Ramon's channel at Hit or Miss TV on YouTube. Actually, the link to his channel is in the description below. Okay, one of those. All right. Yeah, Ramon. Do you know who I think I am? That's an inside joke between, Ramon said it on here before, but he has a buddy that says that. Yeah, it's the only keepsake you'll have from that movie. Okay, well, there you go. He didn't really show him like being too irate or anything. What do you see that video, Seth? What do you think?
I mean,
it seems like
Ezra Miller getting arrested to me. Yeah. I mean, we don't know what. I mean, I don't. I didn't read it, so I don't know if it says what he was arrested for in that video. But
well, it says Ezra tells police he was complying, but they tell him he wasn't, and then he asks what he did wrong. They tell him he's getting cuffed because he allegedly spit in someone's face. Yeah, that's assault. So let's take a look at this right here. You said there was they kick him out of the. He tries to go back in. Boom. Oh, and they all magically appear. Look at that.
I mean, Ezra Miller in Hawaii, you have to have the cops on standby.
Right. Oh, man. Well, okay. There we go. There we have it. An exclusive from Ramon from Hit or Miss TV. Thank you, sir, for sharing that information with us. So, yeah, well, there you go. That was perfect timing. Ezra Miller being replaced. Rumors are squashed. Going back to what we were talking about, do we think that means, do we think Ezra Miller should be replaced in the already made Flash movie? I disagree. I think it's completely just financially a dumb decision. I mean, he plays multiple versions of his character in the movie. We see that in a trailer. He's playing at least 2 Flash that we know of. So like that'd be multiple roles that has to be re-recorded. I you know what? I don't think I've ever adopted the mentality of replace an actor because I don't like what they did. I'm pretty good at separating myself, from that. Like let's say Johnny Depp wins his defamation case against Amber Heard. I'm not gonna be like, that's it, get rid of Amber Heard and Aquaman, have her scenes completely reshot. I don't see what the purpose in that is. That stuff's already done. It's already in the can. Let's just move on. If you replace her moving forward with a different actress, that's fine. But I don't think you need to reshoot scenes. What do you think about that stuff? Like,
I think
reshooting some of these scenes that they've already done for a movie that's complete.
When it's a main character, you don't have to do that. Like Ezra Miller is playing the titular character, the Flash,
right?
So you're not going to be able to replace him. But Amber Heard is not playing Aquaman, and it sounds like Amber Heard has almost no screen time in this movie. So,
right?
Have you heard the rumors? She has like more than 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah. I've heard them. I've heard them. We don't know. We don't know for sure.
All right, they are just rumors, but I mean, if it's something that small, then
rumor has it that this movie is supposed to come out in 2019 as well. So,
The Flash,
yeah. So,
but
there's that.
Just look at Army of the Dead, though. They reshot that one character entirely.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. It's not a main role, like you said. It's not a main character. But I guess it depends on the severity of the allegations. I think sexual allegations is one thing. I think getting drunk and acting a fool is a completely different thing.
There's another movie coming out that did the same thing, where they shot a movie and then something came out about one of the actors in it, so they went back and reshot the movie. It's one of Taika Waititi's next movies, not Thor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's called Next Goal Wins. They had Armie Hammer was going to star in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
And that movie was shot. It was finished. But then all the stuff came out about Armie Hammer, so they went back and replaced him. So Armie Hammer is not in that movie anymore.
That guy's weird. The Armie Hammer.
I've never heard of allegations like that before.
Allegation it hits beyond that. Well, that's for a different episode.
It is, but that was just it still blows my mind. I've never heard that of an actor before. Like, it's
right. Yeah, cannibalism, things like this. Yeah. Okay.
That's a wild.
So back to Ezra Miller, man. I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't think what Ezra has done is anything more than a cry for help, and it's only going to get worse if he doesn't get help. So yeah, I don't think Ezra needs to be replaced in the Flash movie, nor does he need to be replaced moving forward if he shows progression with himself, like becoming self-aware and actually wanting to change the way he's been. He's come to grips with whatever's going on in his reality. So that's all I have to say about that. But I'm still excited for the Flash movie, even though I've been waiting on it for what seems like a fucking decade. But all right, well, there you go, guys. So let me know what you think about Ezra Miller. Do you want him to be removed from the Flash movie, or are you like me? Do you think that's counterproductive? The movie's in the can. Let's just move on with their lives and maybe get Ezra some help rather than just cancel everybody because they have life problems. Let me know in the comments below. All right, so moving forward here, James Gunn has been very busy the past couple years with the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, and he's doing the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special and also Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is going to be the tentative end of this group in the Guardians of the Galaxy that we know of. It's not saying that there's not going to be future movies of Guardians of the Galaxy with a different cast or maybe variations of this cast joining another team or what have you.
Right.
But tentatively, this group of people, they're done. And Dave Bautista put out an Instagram post, and it's tugging at the heartstrings for a lot of people. Let me bring this up here, but it might hint at something bigger. I don't know. I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Dave Bautista says goodbye to Drax and Guardians of the Galaxy. He wrote in an Instagram post, it says, I haven't found the words yet. It ended so suddenly, and I was onto my next film before I could process it all. The end of a journey that changed my life. Hashtag Guardians of the Galaxy. Hashtag Volume 3. Hashtag Goodbye Drax. Hashtag Dream Chaser. Hashtag Dream Machine. So on the surface, Seth, this just seems like a very, just, hey, we wrap production. I'm going to miss this character. I'm going to miss playing this part. But, it's time to say goodbye. But if you dive into a little bit more and you look at the Goodbye Drax, now I wouldn't have read into it, but other people have read into it and theorized that maybe he's hinting that his character will actually be killed off in Guardians of the Galaxy. Do you think there's any validity to this, Seth, or do you think people are just trying to make something and nothing into something?
I don't think him saying goodbye Drax means that Drax will die. That being said, I think Drax is going to die because it's just they're not going to want to recast. Because Dave Bautista doesn't want to stick around with this role. We've known this for a while. Like, he only did this movie because Gunn was involved. Because do you remember when Gunn was like fired from the movie and Dave Bautista was all like, well, I'm going to leave the movie if you don't bring James Gunn back. Yeah. And I'm actually surprised they brought him back, honestly, but knowing Disney. But they brought him back, so Dave Bautista was like, okay.
Well, James, the allegations against James Gunn were either dropped or found to be falsehoods. Is that correct? I believe that's why
it was just they were literally people. It wasn't any allegations against.
It was just nasty tweets.
Yeah,
it was really inappropriate.
And I'll say that the tweets were incredibly messed up. They were 10 years ago. That's beside the point. Dave Bautista has not shown much interest, and especially ever since he did Army of the Dead, that man has become #1 Marvel hater. He made one movie that wasn't a Marvel movie and decided that he doesn't want to make Marvel movies anymore. So I'm not surprised at all that he's saying goodbye to Drax. I think Drax will die, but even if he doesn't, Dave Bautista's not coming back. So
right. Yeah, I mean, the character Drax is done for sure. Especially now, I don't know if they're going to kill him off either. I mean, I guess that's a good way to send him off. I don't know. Is it a good way? It definitely puts an end to it for sure. But then again, it's Marvel. Nobody's dead forever.
I want Drax to have a big moment though. In this movie,
he's been wasted. He's never had his moment. That was one of the most disappointing things for me. Was like, I really wanted him to have his redemption moment with Thanos in Endgame, and he never did. They put a lot of people to the wayside in Endgame, and he was definitely one of them. I thought he was going to be. When I went and saw Endgame, I thought Drax was going to be the one to do him in, because that was his main goal from Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie, was to take out Thanos.
Yeah,
I thought
that would have been cool. I think that's too much of a rabbit hole, but that would have been cool. Right. I was like restructuring the plot in my head as to how that would work. But yeah, I don't know. I hope Drax gets his big moment though. I hope like if he does die, like whoever the villain of this movie is, he's the one to like take him down or something. Like he has like a heroic death. Right.
Yeah. The sacrificial sort of thing. Yeah, absolutely. We all like to see our good guys die in a good way if they have to die. Like Tony Stark, and it was a good way for him to go. All right, well, there you go. Dave Bautista says goodbye to Drax. Does that mean Drax is definitely going to die in Guardians of the Galaxy 3? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. All right, moving on. This is the last thing I have to talk about, unless Seth wants to bring up anything else. But we've been watching Moon Knight. I actually have seen every episode of Moon Knight except for the last episode. I have not, for some reason, taken the time to sit down and watch that. But I have learned that Gorr, the God Slayer, the God Butcher, which is played by Christian Bale. It's his first time returning back into a comic book role since Batman, and he said that he would never return back to comic book roles, but here he is doing his thing because money talks. And I'm sure they offered him a really cool character, which we still haven't quite seen, except for on like some toys or like promotional mugs or cups or something like that. But he was supposed to be at least appear or at least be mentioned in Moon Knight.
Yeah, there was going to be a reference to him.
Yeah, and we were all kind of expecting it, I think. At least me. Like I personally was. I was waiting to see what the connection between Moon Knight and honestly Thor was going to be, because just the way they did the marketing with Thor, and the marketing with Moon Knight, it all just seemed like they were working together. Like, oh, well, we'll release this teaser trailer only after the 5th episode of Moon Knight is released, because that's the one that's going to connect everything. But no, nothing ever connects in the Disney Plus series so far, except the closest one is Wanda. But this is what was brought up in reference to Gorr the God Butcher, cut from Moon Knight. And this is from Jeremy Slater, and he says to the direct, he goes, I think Marvel is getting very smart about how they sort of work these references and cameos. And they'll do it if it makes sense. They won't do it if they hurt the story. So they don't do it just for the sake of doing it. I think that was a time where they felt like, we're stretching to make this connection. We don't really need it. So therefore, Gorr the God Butcher was cut from Moon Knight. I would have loved to see a reference, and it's just one of my biggest exhausting things when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and now the Disney Plus series. And it's something Ramon has touched on about when he's been on the show. It's all getting convoluted, and we don't really know what's going on with Marvel. We have we don't know what we're moving towards when it comes to Marvel. So everything just seems really up in the air with a big question mark surrounding it. And I would really like to see more connection between Disney Plus and the cinematic universe. Like right now, I went and saw, Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness, and I went mad because I couldn't find any connection between that and Loki, and very paper thin connection with WandaVision. Like, these things aren't really connecting the way that I was hoping that they were. It almost seems like the Disney Plus stuff just doesn't even freaking matter. Now I'm starting to question what Loki has to do with the multiverse. I thought Loki opened up the multiverse, but then, but now people are like, his was more about timeline. It's about, stopping other timelines from being created, not necessarily different universes. So now it's getting really confusing. Maybe, Seth, do you know something to clarify this situation for me, or somebody else who's as confused about it as I am?
I mean, Kevin Feige has said that Loki killing Kang, or the Kang variant being killed, is what allowed the multiverse to open. Okay. A lot of people theorize that, like, the killing of Kang, or He Who Remains, I guess is his name. The killing of He Who Remains and the Doctor Strange spell in No Way Home. Some people theorize that happened at the same time, which, biggest coincidence ever, but it's a Marvel movie, so who cares? So some people think that those happened at the exact same time, and that is what just really broke everything. And I mean, I think it's going to take a while before we really see, the how much of an impact these shows are having. Like, specifically The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that show is literally setting up Captain America the new Captain America, and we're getting a lot more shows. You know, Moon Knight. They've already said Moon Knight is going to appear in other movies. They haven't said what movies, but Moon Knight is going to appear in movies. As is Ironheart, She-Hulk. Like, all these characters are not only going to live in their shows, they're going to show up in other shows, and they're going to show up in other movies. So it will tie in. I think the biggest one, though, we have yet to see it. I think the biggest one, though, that's really going to tie into everything is going to be Secret Invasion. That one sounds pretty big, because that's like a big event in the comic books.
Okay, but yeah, big event, sweet. So, like, what? We just get lazy writing from a 6-episode TV series, and so just so we know that character exists, and then they can show up wherever. I don't like the fact that we have to go, well, Kevin Feige said that because of this and Loki is why this happened in No Way Home. Like, we should know that. We shouldn't be told that. We shouldn't have, to read cliff notes written by Kevin Feige, to know what's going on in the movies and compared to the TV shows. Marvel came out first and they said, well, our TV shows, Disney Plus, you don't need to watch Disney Plus to know what's happening in the cinematic universe.
Never said that. I'm telling you, they never said it. I've never been able to find anything of them saying it.
Okay, well, you're the only person that's ever told me that they didn't say that. But if you can prove me wrong, then prove me wrong. I will happily put my foot in my mouth and move on with my life. But
I mean, how am I supposed to prove to you that they didn't say something? Shouldn't you be proving to me that they did?
Okay, then I will do that right now.
I'm
No,
kidding.
Nope,
you don't have to.
I don't even know what to search for.
I don't know.
I went to type something. I'm like, I don't even know what to put in. Okay, sure. Whoever's fucking got to prove to whoever. The point is, I've listened to many people say that, and I've never heard anybody argue it except for you. So, like, I just maybe everyone's wrong. But the point is even if they're not doing that, still, like, watching Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, even coming from WandaVision, it just didn't. The character Wanda that we got at the end of WandaVision was not the character that we got at the beginning of that movie. There's a whole section that happened there that, man, I really wish they would have dove into that in WandaVision. Like, maybe not do that stupid ass TV sitcom thing for 3 episodes and then actually put your interesting stuff in the last 3 episodes. I don't get it. Like, I just don't. It's all convoluted. It doesn't make any sense. It's not tying in together. We thought in WandaVision when she brought back her brother, and it ended up being dude from the X-Men movies that played Quicksilver. Dude, that was it. Like, oh my God, she just opened the multiverse. Nope. Like, what's the point? What's the point of all this? What's the point of doing something like that and it not tying in? Nothing is tied in from the Disney Plus series to the cinematic universe yet, and I'm getting really, really annoyed with it. Are you not? Do you think everything's just going smooth as butter?
I mean, I can see. I mean, I get it, but I don't know. I don't really see it as that big of a problem yet. I mean, I get it though. I see it because a lot of people agree with you. More people agree with you than agree with me on that. So I'm in the minority here, but I don't know. I don't see that big of a problem yet. I think I don't know.
Well, I think the biggest problem is when we were going through the original phases of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like, we were there from its conception, and like, we knew we were building up to something. There was a story being built up in the background that we are all aware of. That little Thanos nod here at the end of this one, dimensions of the stones in this one, dimension of the stones in that. These are all built together. But like right now, Shang-Chi, Eternals, No Way Home, Loki, WandaVision, none of this stuff connects.
I think this is a new phase 1 You know, like, because we're starting a brand new chapter. Because phase 1, 2, and 3 is one story, and that story ends at the end of phase 3. So phase 4 is starting a brand new one. So this is like going back to page 1. With phase 1, none of that stuff like Thanos and the Infinity Stones were teased until the final movie of that phase, which
Right.
was the Avengers. That's where we got our first look at Thanos and the blue Infinity Stone was the cube. I can't remember the name of it right now. Is that the Space Stone? But the Tesseract, yeah. That stuff was in the final movie of that phase. So think of this phase as phase 1. We're probably going to get our real setup at the end of this phase, which supposedly ends in 2024 is when the end of phase 4 is. That's probably when we'll really start seeing when things happen. And I've seen a lot of people say like, oh, well, they're not, connected because, you had Nick Fury showing up in Iron Man, then you had Iron Man showing up in Hulk, and they're like, we're not getting that, but we are, because we had Wong in Shang-Chi. I know you didn't watch that, but Wong was in Shang-Chi, and then of course he's in Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange was in Spider-Man, Yelena was in Hawkeye. Like, they're crossing over still. I think I get it, but I think sooner than later we will see where this is heading.
Yeah, so you think, well, and also we did go through an entire global pandemic since then. Things got really confusing for a while, in 2020 and 2021, how things were released. I mean, even when it comes back down to the Score the God Butcher stuff, they didn't know. They didn't know if if this was going to come out before or after Thor. So like they had like different alternate cuts that they were going to put out, but they ended up just cutting Gore out of it completely anyhow. You do bring up a really good point about this being the new phase 1, but they should just say that. They should just say this is phase 1B.
I don't think they have to. I mean, this is a brand new story. I think that's kind of understandable. I think we all know it's a brand new story. It's a brand new start.
Well, that's the thing though. Yes, we all know it's brand new from Endgame, but I think my problem is like there's no real jumping off point. I mean, the first movie after Endgame was Spider-Man Far From Home, right?
Yeah.
Which added nothing to anything about the jumping off point. Like, it didn't really jump off into a direction where we're like, okay, I see where we're headed. And I think
that was also still phase 3 was Far From Home. So that was still like the end of that story. That was
okay. What a weird movie. what a weird spot for a movie. It wasn't it the last movie of phase 3, it's like end game plus the Spider-Man movie. Like that's
they were weird with it. Far From Home was phase 4 at one point, and then randomly, like 2 months before it came out, they were like, actually it's phase 3 now. It's like the epilogue.
So what was the first phase 4 movie?
First phase 4 movie was Black Widow, but the first phase 4 project was WandaVision.
The first phase 4 movie was a prequel. And you're wondering why we're confused. Okay. All right. That's I'm not going to go down to it's Seth. I see what you're saying, and I'm glad you're hopeful because you do bring up some good points. You absolutely do. I just don't know if I necessarily buy them yet. Like you're saying that there's a goal where we're getting there. We'll just another movie or another 2 movies, or at the end of this phase, we'll know. To me, we should already be on the trajectory of knowing where we're headed. I don't want to wait for that one movie that's going to connect everything together and be like, oh, now I get it. I kind of want to be in the know with all the movies and TV shows that I'm investing my time in now. And I'm not. I still have no clue where any of this shit lies.
I mean, I'll say this. This is going to definitely be a big connection is Ant-Man is going to tie back to Loki, because the villain of that movie is Kang.
Right.
Actually Kang. So I feel like that'll tie in for sure.
That movie's being being suspiciously quiet, the filming of that movie.
It is. Yeah, I think they've been wrapped for a little while now, but we don't really know anything about it. So
Except Bill Murray's in it.
Yeah, except Bill Murray's in it.
Right.
And I have a small theory on that movie, but I don't know if I can say it here yet because I think it might be Doctor Strange spoilers.
Oh, okay. But do you want to do it with a spoiler warning?
I mean, if we put up a big spoiler warning, give it like 20 seconds. All right.
All right.
I'll wait 10 seconds. Doing spoilers. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I have a feeling that in Ant-Man 3, we're going to get the actual introduction to the MCU version of Reed Richards. Because there's a lot of speculation and heavy rumors that John Krasinski was part of reshoots for Doctor Strange, which were back in December, which Ant-Man was still filming then. And, you know, just take a quick walk across the street. You know, they're going into Quantumania is what the movie's called. And I don't know if you know this, but back in the 2000s, Peyton Reed, who's the director of Ant-Man, was actually going to do a Fantastic Four movie that he was very passionate about, and they ended up scrapping it. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, hey, you know, we're not going to let you do the Fantastic Four movie, but if you want to maybe play with a character or two from that roster, maybe we could let you. You know, it's all the sciencey stuff too. Reed Richards is known as the smartest man alive. So, I don't know. It's just a quick theory that I think Reed Richards might show up in Ant-Man.
Do you think they're going to go that low-hanging fruit of bringing in the Fantastic Four like they've been stuck in the quantum realm since the 60s?
I hate that's a possibility. I could very well see them doing that. The thing is, though,
boy.
My guess is I don't think we're going to see all of the Fantastic Four. I think we're only going to see Reed Richards, if anybody. So I don't know. That's just literally just my theory. I have no actual evidence to back that up. It's just theorizing, just having fun.
Well, there you go. Theorizing with a little bit of Doctor Strange spoilers. Well, there you go, guys. There's Seth's little theory on how the Fantastic Four will be introduced into the MCU. And I think that will do it. That's it for today's drive-by news. I want to thank all of you who joined us in the comments. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate your support. We really appreciate your contribution to the show. If you could show us some love, give us go to our YouTube channel, give us a like, thumbs up thing, click the little bell notification thing so you get notified every time we upload a new video. Also, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Or what am I supposed to tell you, like, smash that subscribe button? Is that what YouTubers say?
Sure.
Smash that subscribe button. I don't know, whatever. That's not me. All right. With that being said, oh, thanks, Cody. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you joining in. With that being said, I want to say, Seth, thank you for joining us. Thank you all for joining us. And stay trigger happy, my friends. We will see you Friday for Drive-By News, Friday the 13th, to be exact. Ooh, I know what shirt I'm wearing. Stay trigger happy, my friends. See you Friday.